Good science, by definition, allows for more than one opinion. Otherwise, you merely have the will of one man, which is the basis of cult.
If it's not in frame, it doesn't exist.
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore!
I'm funny how? I mean funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you?
Where you been?
Drunk.
Wendy, darling, light of my life.
What is your one purpose in life?
To explode, of course.
I like death with sex. How about you, Casey? You like sex with death?
Yeah, so fuck off and die.
Oh man,
It's always something.
God, dude, is your racket tight?
Oh yeah, yeah, buddy.
Ouch.
Every time
I loved when they stepped on the rackets, dude.
I know, that was the best. That awoken something in me. Every time I see like someone playing tennis or like a movie about tennis, I'm always like, that looks kind of fun. I mean, other than my ankles, I feel like I could maybe pull that off. But then I'm like, no, it's a sport. It's a sport for gentlemen, and with stamina, I would die.
It's dude, yeah. When I see a sport that is like continuous movement, like that of like a soccer or that of like a hockey or that of like a tennis or like a volleyball, something where it's like you are constantly moving during like the.
At least with hockey, it's like you're swapping out with other guys. You know, it's like a team sport. I feel like one of these ones. Like, I mean, with Raging Bull a couple weeks ago, like these one-on-one sports where it's just like one guy, it's an interesting dynamic because it makes for a different type of sport in general and a different sports movie, right? Because there's no talk about teamwork in Raging Bull or in this movie,
right?
You know what I mean, or anything like that. It's like, and it's way more like the celebrity of it too, which is interesting. We'll get to that. So. This is the Cult of Semi Knowledge podcast. It's just Jordan over there. I'm Levi here. I usually don't even say who I am. I just introduce you because you're the good one.
Do you? Do you know you do? I mean, you say your name. Frequently.
I don't like saying my own name. I don't know. It feels weird sometimes. You ever just like talk to yourself in the third person? It's odd. It's like when my kid calls me Levi, and I'm like, don't do that. I'd rather you call me Leaves or something. Child.
Yeah. I tell the kids sometimes like that's Cindy, and it is weird to be like, not your mom but my mom. But anyways, say your name, dude. Say it loud and proud. I'm Jordan the Sweetheart Angel, and I love tennis.
Yeah, you're not the what is it, the super brat and the mega brat? What is it, the ultra brat? What do they call them?
I don't. Yeah, what do they call? They just Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah,
just
the brat,
the actual cannibal.
Yeah, literally. He's behind you. So we're talking obviously Borg versus McEnroe is the movie.
Dude, I was telling Victoria about it. She watched it with me, and I was like, yeah, I can't remember what the movie's called. It's something like it's Borg versus the McIntyre or something,
yeah.
or like
close enough.
Like Borg. And then we're watching it, and she's like, "Oh, is that supposed to be like John McEnroe?" And I was like, "I don't know, who's that?" And then I was like,
knows who John McEnroe is.
No. Do you know why? So if you go to Reddit, here, everyone in podcast land, come to r/Cult of Semi Knowledge, and follow us, and and come and comment and be
talk
cool
about
dude.
movies.
There's a lot of cool dudes on there.
Cool dudes.
And so I posted the clip from Mr. Deeds when Johnny McEnroe is like the bad boy tennis player, and he's hanging out with Mr. Deeds, and they're like drunk.
That's hilarious.
It's like,
I don't remember that at all.
That is literally, oh my god, dude, when you watch the clip, it might awaken something in you. But no, dude, I don't know tennis. I couldn't tell you. I was like, okay, there are the Williams sisters, that literally the only human beings that play tennis that I know their names.
When we were doing Sports
and
Month,
then John McEnroe.
We're doing Sports Month. It's like I've seen everything I know about tennis is based on movies, right? And from that one scene from Crapneck. It's tennis. Jacking off, listening to
dude, that's
tennis.
You should go out there. Any young, like if you're like 16 and you're listening to this, go
watch
Ken this
Park.
movie called Ken Park, and it'll blow your mind because the tennis scene's amazing.
It's good,
but it's a brutal movie.
But like I've seen King Richard, right, with Will Smith about the Williams sisters, right?
Oh, I know.
And it's a pretty good movie. And then obviously Challengers we watched last year or earlier this year.
They're not real, right? Those were fictitious.
No, that was fictitious. That was fictitious.
Oh, okay, good. Because I'm like, maybe they're real tennis players. I don't think so.
That was my biggest frame of reference. But it's just so interesting because like we talked about it a little bit last week about how like people get so into it, like so into a sport. But it's just all 3 of these movies are about how like tennis and the ambition to be like the best tennis player and to be like the GOAT, and it's like so heralded and it's celebrity. And I'm over here like with my fat slob on the couch being like, is tennis really like, is it a heartthrob tennis? Like, is that a thing? Like,
I know. I was like, that girl's like taking her like, shirt off for him. Like, I was like,
I mean, he's hot.
Weird.
Like he's a dreamboat, I guess, but and a national treasure,
right.
supposedly. But
yeah, they're sweatbands. I was actually the whole time we were watching this, I was
sweatbands.
like,
Gotta
what happened to sweatbands?
Bringing them back, baby.
What happened to them?
I'm gonna just start wearing a sweatband.
I know, right? It's like I almost feel like if you wore a sweatband though, you wouldn't be allowed in the bank. Like they'd be like, sir, just,
they wouldn't let me pick up
your
my
pockets.
kids. Yeah,
yeah. No, literally, you'd
I'd
have
be
a
at the
sweatband out of the
school, and
like,
they'd be like, you need to be 150 yards away.
Yeah, exactly. You'd be trying to mail a letter, and the cop would security guard would come by you.
So
yeah,
I'm not gonna get into the details of the plot. But
I mean, it's literally just a tennis.
It's 2 dudes who are going up against each other, and it goes into their backstory about how they got into tennis. And it's like, Bjorn Borg is like Swedish, right? And he
Swedish,
I think. And he's like the best.
No, he's from Norway, but I guess I don't know.
Norwegian. Sorry, if we got any Scandinavian friends out there. I don't know, but it's he's going for his number to break the record, and then you got John McEnroe. He's the loudmouth brat American, the total opposite underdog, coming up to head to head, and so it's like all coming to this pentultimate match, but it's like pretty non-linear, showing like their life and stuff about like so that the stakes, you understand the stakes by the end of it. It's like how much it means to both of them to win, and so it's like. You don't really know who you're rooting for. I don't know if you were rooting for one or the other.
I mean, I hate like Shia LaBeouf, so I was voting. I
love Shia LaBeouf.
I love him, and I know I
as
do
an
too.
actor, as an actor, and I appreciate some of his just like some of his approach. You know what I mean, and some of his just approach to life, like his no nonsense, kind of take on stuff, and his artistic approach. But he seems insufferable.
he seems
Shia, if you're listening to this, sorry, so let's set the record straight. I heard he's becoming a priest now or something last I heard, so I don't know.
Well, dude, no, that's the thing. No, I do we saw Honey Boy. Go listen to that episode. We loved it. That was that was
autobiographical.
Watch it again. But anyways, so it's like I've liked him. I love the stunt that he did where he watched all of his movies in a theater for 2 days straight or whatever, he invited people to come see it, and it's it was cool. It's there is something about him that is really endearing, but I'm also yes, he is he's the typical child star that's just kind of you're good now, but man, you've
we'll see. I don't know about good now. He's no Corey Feldman, right? But
but yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's the thing. I guess I kept with this movie. I kept being oh yeah, this came out. I thought this came out last year, but I was oh yeah, no, this was a little while ago now.
Surprisingly, I know it feels more recent.
Crazy, yeah.
So our friend Competitive Bat, he has recommended this movie, and now he can't give shit because he's always been wanting us to watch. Because I got him into movies some years back, and now he's oh, now I watch all these movies, but no one else ever watches them. And so he watched for the Oscar season years ago, Call Me by Your Name, and no one else watched it. And so he's you guys got to watch Call Me by Your Name, and then I really like Borg versus McEnroe. I really think you guys should watch that. So I put it on the poll for him as a suggestion, and then I voted for it too. So I'm I don't care what wins. These all sound fine. And so it won. So I'm glad we got to check it out because it's my expectations going in. I'm I hate the title, but I get it. It's no nonsense. Yeah. You know what I mean? But it's and it obviously if you know tennis, you're it's Borg versus McEnroe.
Well, that's the thing. I'm curious. Does Competitive Bat like tennis? This is kind of one of those movies that it's you had to have read the book to really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's know the history. In this case,
I don't know the history. I don't know the guys. I don't know tennis very well, And so this is one of those movies where I'm like, it just felt like to me where it's like exceptional men are going to do exceptional things.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, and then a lot of it's like, just like, oh, they're just like holding their head.
Yeah.
And it's like quiet.
Well, any
and
good
like,
sports movie, which I think this movie does pretty good, is like it focuses more on like the ambition and the drive of it. Like obviously we got way more tennis in this movie than we did of probably any of the other movies that we watched this month. Like way more of the sport. Like it was very much about like the commitment to the sport, you know. And a lot more playing of the tennis than we got, you know, soccer or whatever last week. But no, just imagine, just imagine like, so all the fandom in this, but like imagine if Green Street Hooligans was about just like the fans of Johnny McEnroe and they have a gang. Like, it's like, it's weird, right?
No, dude, I actually was thinking that when we were watching this. I'm like, man, we just don't have the Green Street Hooligans in America. Like, it's such a weird. Because even though this movie is like kind of nation, it's like, or like
even at the beginning,
like Wimbledon's and like
the quotes, they're
Britain
like, this is like
the
the ultimate be all. You know, there's like every life in the breath of a fucking tennis or whatever. You know, and it's all like, and I'm like, it's a game. I don't know. I get that there's like an entire around all sports. There's like a whole prestige around it, and especially this, it's like they make it a very fine point where it's like, this is a sport. It's not about winning, it's about how you win, and it's about, you know, it's a sport for gentlemen. And the guy, when he's in school, he's literally like, this is not for all like echelons of society. This is, you know, if you're a loudmouth or you're poor, this is not a sport for you. And I'm like, so I can never play tennis besides the ankles. It's like I don't have that. Really. I'm too poor to play tennis.
You can't have.
It's a rich man sport. It's like fucking golf or something.
It really, no, dude. It feels very. It feels like elitist and entitled, which is fine. I don't know. I think it's silly. It's like it is fun
by
that,
design,
like,
though.
Johnny McEnroe is the. Well, yeah, of course, right?
Yeah, he's the pup.
Like, it's fine. It's just not.
He's like writing on the walls and stuff. You know what I mean? It's fun.
I know, yeah, but this was definitely one of those movies where like they the filmmaker is not the strongest filmmaker. But it was made for a really small budget, so I'm actually pretty impressed. But the thing that really bothered me, I just want to say real quick, I wish that there's one scene in this movie that, like, all the rest of the movie is fine. It does exactly what it's supposed to, and it's pretty just fair to middling. But there's one scene when Borg is younger and he like has a freak out or whatever, you know, and then Skarsgård, his coach, like
his daddy coach,
comes to him. Yeah, his daddy coach, and his father figure. And he comes to him and he's like, it's so frustrating because he's like, you've got to hold it in, and you've got, you know, like he gives him like, it's very just like point blank, like it kind of like almost an exposition dump a little bit to like who he is, and it's like it's very like, you know, like that he's just literally telling the audience what his whole character arc and stuff. And I'm like, it would have been so much better if it just showed him younger. And then they were like looking out on a vista or something, and he just like was reassuring to him, you know.
Well, because they do it
that's all
like
you needed. Like it really like, I don't know. It really bothered me. I was just like, he literally just says, like, he sits down and he says, "All right, you got to hold it in, and you got to use that, and that's your motivation." And like, and I'm just like,
and that's fine. I mean, that's what a coach would
that's
say.
That's the whole movie.
I'm
just like,
but
no, I know.
You
but
juxtapose
like,
that with like the scene when McEnroe is with his buddy in like Studio 54 or one of those clubs or whatever, and he's like talking about how you know, Borg. He's like, no, he like all the rumors about him, about how he like brings the temperature down, and he's like so neurotic, like, you know, he's like fucking OCD, about like all this stuff. I'm like, that shows kind of like. Because it's interesting when it went back to his childhood and showed him having, like, the tantrums, basically. I'm like, oh, okay. It's interesting that he learned to hold it in. And then it's like, the line that got me excited was, like, after that scene, he's like, no, he's, you know, he does all this crazy things to, like, be so precise. And he steps on all the fucking rackets and everything. And they're like, no, Borg isn't, they say he's an iceberg, but he's a volcano ready, like, that is ready to erupt.
Right.
Oh, and so I was waiting.
Like, they should.
I know it's like real, but I was like, if it wasn't real, I'm like, oh, where's the meltdown? So I was hoping for McEnroe to win because of the underdog, but I was like, I wanted to see it come out, you know, like I feel like if this was not a real story and just like a regular, just fictional narrative, then it's like we'd have that like fucking it would all come out because that would be his real character arc. I feel like if it was like following a traditional story where like he would lose or he's losing in the final match and he would like for the first time he'd like break a racket or something like that in years and everyone's like, oh my god, you know, Borg the cyborg is fucking losing his cool finally, and so I was like waiting for that, and then it's just like it never happened. If anything, it's like McEnroe, he's the one who like got his composure and everything.
right,
which
exactly.
I thought was good because that was like the development of his character to kind of be like, I want to be taken serious as a tennis player and not just be like the brat or whatever.
Right, and to me, it gives it that importance of like Wimbledon, like where, like it's like, you know, just saying that. Why in Britain they're so funny. They're like what Wimbledon. They're always like titty bop and a boopy boop. And
whatever
like,
you
and
fucking
and then that is
yank.
That is the most prestigious. They're just like, we're going to goobly goop, and that's like. There's like you have to be like the whitest person in the world. Like it's
you gotta
like
think
the supremacy is so high for these funny words.
As big of a deal as tradition is, and to a lot of like our culture here, that's nothing compared to like fucking like British culture, who their society goes back like thousands of years, practically. You know, and we're like, yeah, tradition. My grandfather, and they're like, no. Over here, it's like we have lineages and families that have been around in this city. You know, we got fucking bars that are older than your country type of vibe. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No. Right. Really. Oh yeah. Really. Yeah. It's like,
and so
that
it's
is
like,
funny. But
it's weird how
American watching this movie. I was like,
and we're like,
I was like, John
we're
John McEnroe, baby.
We're like, we're poor white trash, and so we're looking at it like.
I'm like, hell yeah, dude, John McEnroe.
I'll share a beer with that guy, you know?
I know, yeah, dude. Like, when he was spitting, I was like, fuck yeah, dude.
And you know, Shia, like, he just got that habit, too. Like, I feel like it just, in the next movie he made after this one, like, he was just spitting everyone. They're like, do you have to do that, sir? Like, you know? And he's like,
I know, really, yeah.
This is what my character would do.
I know, yeah.
I don't know. I actually really liked this movie. Overall, I thought it was a little longer than it needed to be, but like cinematography was good. The acting by the leads and Skarsgård was like subdued but good. And the editing was really, really punchy and sometimes really good, but like my biggest problem with this movie that like I think throws the whole thing off is the overall structure of it. Like it was working sometimes how it would like cut back and forth between like them being kids and then them being older and then like them a couple years before, but it was like really inconsistent. Like sometimes it would do a good job of like,
I never knew what year it was. That's how come they had to put the title cards or show like a plaque
the title
that said
cards,
what year it is, because like
the title cards were fucking still useless though. They were useless.
They were still kind of confusing, yeah.
Because like they would literally be like, oh, okay, this is like, they'd be doing a bunch of stuff, and you'd be like, okay, this is during like the championship, like going out to all the matches up to Wimbledon, and then you're like, oh no, just kidding, this is like the year before, and they're like, no, just kidding, this is like 78, and then sometimes they wouldn't do that, and it worked better when they didn't do it, kind of, but they kept trying to like set it for sure. It's like it almost would work better if it was mostly like, other than like flashback to the kid stuff, that's fine, but like mostly linear. Because I don't know. Like,
well, dude, I was laughing. I know what you're saying though. I do agree. Like the whole structure of it is weird.
During the final match, they literally were like, there would be title cards would be like, this is the second in the final game, this is the second set, this is the third set, and you're like, okay, and then it would do like the fourth and the fifth set, but no title cards. And I'm like, were those other ones necessary? And then it's like, he broke the tie, and I was like, oh, that's it. And then it's like, nope, just kidding. It keeps going, but like, again, it's probably because I don't understand the game that much. But it's
that's
like
what
the
I mean.
way that it's like setting it up and trying to like pinpoint the stuff. And I'm like, no, just be more confident in the flow, because sometimes it is.
Right.
Sometimes it's like, you know, you're having a fucking speech from the past from the coach, and then it like cuts to the modern day and the speech is still going and things like that. Like that really works. But like the overall, because I feel weird about the editing, because I thought the editing was good. It was snappy, it was punchy, and like they had to do like in the moments, like the scenes were really well edited, but like the overall editing structure of the entire film was messy. And it's like I feel like they could have just like made some massive changes to move things around a bit better.
I feel like they must have. Like, I bet you $1 million they edit it more linear and more of like a basic like flash forward, flashback, flash forward, flashback, and then like to the game, and that structure. And then they were like, well, let's try to like move some pieces around. The part that was like glaring to me though is like all the flashback stuff to them being children. It like narratively, it felt like a memory, that's like what I'm assuming it was supposed to be. But then there's a scene where he's in his hotel and he's watching the old 8mm film of him playing tennis, and it's all like moody and him staring at the camera and stuff, and he's watching that footage of him as a child just bashing the tennis ball against the garage, and I'm like, this is insane. Why aren't they like bringing this up? Like, he's weird that he's watching this, and it's not a memory now. Like, it's him watching it to like study him hitting that
exactly,
thing as, like, a teen.
and like him going back to
so weird.
recreate it with that film crew. It's like that was a cool scene, but like it didn't need it with all that other stuff because it's just further showing that his like neuroticism, and it's like how he has to stay like everything's in his luck. But like you already get that when he's like, this fabric is different in the car. And like the whole scene with the other guys when he's like, he's doing the temperature, he's testing all the racks, you know what I mean? It's like,
right.
He didn't need
and that's
it.
what I'm saying. I think this movie just didn't know when it would show, and then it'd be like, okay, we're gonna tell you what you just saw because like it didn't feel confident. That's
what I'm saying.
That's what I'm getting.
It's like,
they didn't feel like they were like. They felt like they edited it, and they were like, "Are people going to get this?" And
I feel like it was a good swing, but it was messy. Like I would be interested to see like what the filmmaker does next. I don't know I don't know anything about him.
Well,
but
he's one of those. He did like Endor and like some other TV stuff. I think he did like an episode of True Detective, and like he's kind of one of those guys that just like
yeah, that tracks. Because
bounces
this is edited like
this is like
that.
this is more of like a passion project. So.
Yeah, he's one of the groupies, for sure. But.
Yeah.
I don't know. That was, I think, because it's like it's the timelines too. Another thing that bothered me, it would like it cut back to McEnroe and how he like idolized Borg, and so Bjorn's supposed to be like when Wimbledon happened, he's like 25 or something, 26, and then like I guess McEnroe is quite a bit younger, but it's like it cuts back to him as a kid. No title card because hey, he's a kid. It's forever ago.
I didn't know.
He has
I thought it
pictures
was,
of like modern day Borg that he's looking up to, and I'm like, their age gap is not that much, and it's like, but then when it does the whole fucking timeline of Bjorn winning everything, and I'm like, this is like 3 years. Like, how would this happen?
I thought the kid. I thought that kid was just a random kid. Do you know how long it took me to really like
he had the hair.
Him Johnny.
Yeah.
No, right, the hair, and they called him Johnny, and I was like, oh, it's him. But like because it's like this is one of those movies where I thought I'm actually kind of upset that they even showed John McEnroe at all because it's Borg's movie like that. Like, it's like it's like the first like hour is all Borg and doesn't flash back to like John McEnroe.
You don't get nearly enough of McEnroe.
No, not at all.
I was interested, but there's not as much there, and so like they didn't spend enough time on it, but they should have either spent more time or less time. But it's like the amount of time
I
think
they should have just cut him at all. I think it should have just been Borg's movie. That's
because I mean him in the present day, him in the hotels, like that's all you need. You don't need
oh yeah, of course. That's
you don't need
McEnroe.
You don't need kid McEnroe.
No, you don't. It's like, and you don't even really need his dad showing up. I mean, but I feel like that's what I'm saying. This is a movie where you need. It's like if you knew the history of this, like if you were like, oh, I'm a fan of tennis, and I actually know about the history of this tennis, because it's like him winning like 5 Wimbledons in a row is like pretty impressive, and it's like, and then it's like, I think it's really fun because I looked it up, and they did. I mean, it's like the title cards say like they became friends and all that, and they were good buddies, but it turned out that like. They played against each other 14 times, and they're even. They both have won seven matches. So it's like it's pretty cool that like they're one of those people who I'm like, oh, that's kind of fun. There's like something fun there where it's like they're rivals. It would have been cool if this movie was like the like first hour was to the match of Wimbledon, and then the rest of it was like them growing up together and maybe like cutting through their matches or something. I don't know, a little
this
bit
made
more
me
like,
had a
it's
newfound.
just like a little too long for me.
I agree. Yeah, they could have cut some stuff for sure, because it felt over 2 hours and it was an hour 40 or whatever.
Yeah,
But it's like it gave me a new appreciation for challengers, which obviously came much later.
Oh yeah, dude.
But
Challengers, yeah, fun.
And the more I think on challengers, the more I like it. But like being fictitious, I think also helps because it doesn't get bogged down in that stuff, and it's more of like the weird,
right?
Love triangle. But it's like I understand they were doing a similar things where they were trying to make it, because by the time the match happened, like I was on the edge of my seats, kind of. I was like, who's going to win? They both want it so bad.
I don't know the history, so I was like, oh, who's going to win?
That's what I'm saying. They do a pretty good job building up, but I'm like, they do way more. It's like 75% Borg, 25% McEnroe. And like Borg and his fucking fiance and his dad, Skarsgård are in the stands and everything. And then it's like McEnroe's dad shows up, and it's like, I don't really care about McEnroe's dad, but I get it, I guess. But it's like, you could see how it fucked him up, but you don't need to see, like, he doesn't even have an interaction with him there, like, at all. There's no, like, final catharsis or anything. And so it's like, I don't know. It's like, I get they were trying to make it like they both have everything to lose and everything to gain. And so it's just like, you're rooting for both. Like, who's it going to be? Like, because I felt that, but at the same time, I was like, yeah, it's Borg has more to lose, like, by a lot. You know what I mean?
Right, by a lot.
And so it's just like, yeah, you could have just called it Borg, even though I like McEnroe as a character.
No, it's funny. It is. When it played in like the Scandinavian countries, and like when it played across seas in Europe and stuff, it's just called Borg.
Really?
because it, like, that's what it is. That's what I think. That is what I'm frustrated about now that we're talking about it, and I like can kind of think about it a little bit more. I wish that it was. I wish it was more just like 90% Borg. Like all you can keep all the present day stuff with McEnroe, because that was great. I loved seeing him on TV, and then getting to know him like in the like he actually was in it like just enough to kind of know who he is.
His interviews,
like I said, when they did that, yeah, exactly, those are great. And when they did like the kid stuff of his flashbacks, I told you, I was confused. I was like, is this supposed to? I thought it was just a kid that was looking up to Borg, and it kind of had no. I thought it was going to be a kid that was looking up to Borg, and then like he's an adult or something, there, and that's it's just like that would be the correlation between it, which I guess it kind of is, but yeah, and the stuff with Johnny McEnroe, it's like I like my favorite part is after the game, like it's intense. They're battling it out, and it's like it is one of those things where like the movie I think would hit a lot different if I knew the outcome already, to be like to kind of have that perspective, because I was like, oh, this is real. So the whole time I was watching it, I was like, oh, there's a true outcome, and that's going to be the ending. And it's not one of those movies where I'm not on the edge of my seat really, because I'm like, oh, it's somebody wins in real life. It's not. I can't be like, oh, is the underdog gonna win? And then and they're battling it out to each other. I mean, it is crazy though. That was like that really is like they did like a sudden death match, and was like it literally came down to like 1 point. Like it was crazy.
Yeah, that's
why.
intense.
If I knew anything about tennis, I'd be impressed.
Yeah,
but I think what I really liked is the ending. When they meet, and he's like, it's just like you see him there, and he's just kind of like, "Oh, Borg," and they come and like
that. That was great. I really loved the ending. Where it's just like,
and like I before the title card, I was like, "Oh, they're bros, dude. They're like really like they look like they're genuinely happy to be with each other."
Well,
and then
it's the
like,
mutual respect of like, they're literally like, that's like the best game of tennis I ever played. You know what I mean? And it's like you feel that. And I was expecting Zendaya to stand up at the end and be like,
I know, right? Yeah, like, yeah, like,
no, that's tennis,
because she have an orgasm at the end. Yeah, but I know Challengers is just a really good movie though. Like watching this, because this is that. That's what I'm saying. Like,
but they made tennis interesting with the editing, just like Challengers. Like, it's so like the editing of the actual tennis matches and everything like that. Were
of course. Yeah,
super punchy and like super like it made it interesting, because like watching an actual tennis, I'm trying to imagine like being like in the stands and just watching it. I'm like, that sounds terrible. But I don't know.
I mean, you have to know. If we knew the rules, it's more.
People
fun.
say that about hockey. You know what I mean? So
100%. I'm like, I don't know. I told you like when we watched Mighty Ducks, I was like, I don't know. Are you allowed? What are you allowed to do in hockey? The fact when you told me that you're allowed to just not have a goalie, why don't people do that more often? That'd be cool, dude.
They
just
do.
get as
At
many
the end of
guys
the
as you
match.
can. Out
I know,
there.
right? Just pile them
Well,
up.
you're saying that, but no, but just that from the beginning, dude. Just first time, just see how like.
Yeah, I don't know. It's I don't know. It was good, but like,
Yeah.
yeah, I think it had those flaws. But it, like, I thought it was pretty well made. Other than, I wonder if the script was like that. Like, you know what I mean? I wonder what the script was like because I
Yeah.
think being based in real life hurt it a little bit because they were very interested in telling the story as it happened and like doing the childhoods and stuff like that. When it's like it doesn't really make for a better movie. You know what I mean? A better movie would be to like cut out the extra fluff, but then it's just like if this was a passion project, like you say, it's like you can't do that because you're trying to like tell why it's important or everything, you know. And it's like I get it, why it's important to these men, but it's like no volcano Borg, you know. It's like if this was the fiction movie and like I don't know something, but like having it come back around to having such a happy ending because it's like that is the best outcome, you know. Borg gets what he wants and he succeeds, and McEnroe is obviously like the big up and comer. He's like the next one, and he wins a bunch, and they become buddies, and it's all like the best possible happy ending. And he probably tells his dad, he's like, "Fuck you, Dad! I'm not doing math for your friends anymore."
Yeah, I'm a big boy who's won
again. It's like, why is that there?
I know, right? Yeah, no, like I know.
I get it. It's like the pressure
I'm
to
really
be
mad that
like
they
so good or whatever. But again, we've seen that already so many other times, and we've been told and we've been shown in the modern day, like, we don't need that. I don't know.
Yeah. For winning. I'm seeing how much you get for winning Wimbledon, dude.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's got to be some good money behind it because, I mean, they're...
Let's see what my AI overview says. You get $3 million. Well, throw 3 million pounds.
Whatever that means.
when you win the Wimbledon. Yeah, I know, right? What is that? That's probably like $80 million in Mid-American. I can't remember. Like
who knows?
They're a lot better. A total prize. The record total prize was $53 million. Somebody won.
What's crazy? Because you got to think
like
sponsorships and like donations and stuff like that. Like it's crazy because like it is interesting to see like the celebrity of Borg and like all that around. Like it is kind of interesting. I kind of liked when he went into the coffee shop and he's like, I don't have any money. And the guy's like, well, you can work for it. And he's like, instead of being like, don't you know who I am? I'm super famous. You know, he's like, he like ends up working for him a little bit, moving some boxes or whatever.
That was charming because I like that. Like there was like
he doesn't want
that
that
fish
life.
out of water.
Yeah.
There's kind of this like fish out of water, but no, right. And it's kind of, I mean, the movie's pretty like it. Like I said, it kind of tells you that like he was just signing autographs and then he walks inside and he's like, and the guy's just like, who are you? Because, whatever. I don't, who cares? But I would have been like, never in a million years would I have some freaking degenerate who doesn't have his wallet on it. I would be like, don't do work for me. I don't want you touching my shit. I want you to just
take all my goods and go into the back room alone.
Yeah, right. You just take that coffee and you just have a nice day, and you just get out of my building.
I know.
I don't want you anywhere near me.
The one thing, because they do kind of spell things out more than they need to, but it's like the one thing. I'm glad because the way everything was going, I was expecting the fiance at the end of the airport to be like, look at you two, the two sides of the same coin. You both want each other's, it's like you wish you were free like he was, and he wishes he was like contained and professional like you were. And I was half expecting that speech. And I'm glad we didn't get it because it's like that element was interesting by the end of it, where it's just like, it's obvious that McEnroe looked up to Borg for everything, you know what I mean? It's just as far as being the best and like being all this and being emotionless or whatever, and he tries to hone it in and be professional. Like I thought that was good, but like you don't see much other than in his expressions of how much he hates his fucking life and hates the fame and hates the grind of his life and the tennis and the pressure, that it's just like he sees McEnroe as like this free spirit, like this guy who's just like, he just lets it go and he can still be the best. Even though, I mean, he's not a proper gentleman, even though by the end he won the hearts of the nation or whatever, by the end they're all like, well, we like him because he didn't cuss out the officiant or whatever. But it's like, that was interesting, and I'm surprised they didn't go into that, and I'm almost thinking that, like, they didn't intend that, because it's like, if they did, they're like, that's a message we want to get across. We got to make sure we know that that's a message we want to get across, but they didn't. But that's what I took away from it too, and I liked that. I don't know. I overall liked this movie a fair amount. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed my time with it, despite its shortcomings. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm obviously never going to watch it again, but it does make me be like, it makes tennis look exciting when it's not really.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, it's not challengers.
That's the thing. Yeah. I mean, it's hard because watch this first, then challengers, because then it's like, you can kind of have, because it's kind of best of both worlds, where it's like, this movie is really about like individual determination, and then your upbringing, how that evolves to where you are now, competitively. And in challengers, it's cool because it's like they all make each other work harder. Like it's like there's like watching them battle at the end is like amazing because you're like, there's like a weird throuple thing going on with it. And it's
challengers
just like,
is way more nihilistic though. It's like they're not good.
Well, that's true. Yeah. Of course. but this movie's got that. It just tries to. Yeah. That's my thing. This is one of those things when I say like exceptional men, like it. I don't say that in like in a true earnest way, because it's one of those things where I'm like, these guys are playing a sport. Like there are other people out there that are just as good. Like like I mean, he won Wimbledon 5 times. Sure, that's like the thing. That's like where he's really good. But like there's people who are like really close behind him. Yeah. And so it's like I don't know. It's just,
I mean, I get it. They're called champions for a reason, and I get.
Yeah.
I get kind of annoyed, but I get the mentality also, because like McEnroe, he's cussing out the fucking interviewers. He's like, I'm out there playing tennis, laying the field on every day. Like, you do it. Like, if you do it. And it's like, I've felt that way before, where it's like somebody will criticize a movie or something. And I'm like, making movies is fucking hard. You go make a fucking movie then if you're so good. You know what I mean? And it's like, there's a middle ground. I don't know. Because it's like, I get it, but I also get it, but I also disagree with it. So I don't know. I'm conflicted on that.
I think that's just what I like about challengers is like, these are exceptional people, but they're very broken. Where this movie, it's like they're very broken, but that's what makes them exceptional. And I'm like, no. It's the opposite. That's why challengers got it right. Yeah. It's like well, that's why they are.
I wish they would have made like they did it with the title card, but I wish they would have made a bigger deal about Borg retiring early, like they did with the title card, and that's fine.
Yeah,
but it's so obvious how much he hates everything. Literally, the first scene you see with him, he's like. I'm like, is he gonna jump off that balcony? You know what I mean? Like,
dude,
he might.
He
wants to.
Dude,
like, he wants.
No, I kept joking with Victoria that I was like, Borg's gonna decapitate his wife, dude. He's gonna go back to the hotel room. And he's gonna take her head off. He's like, this man he's pent up, man. But then, Kid him is out there throwing leaves and stuff, and so
that's nice.
That's like, we get to see that he can. He's explosive, but he keeps it in, and that's what he's supposed to do. Yeah. I know him retiring. It's kind of like the best thing to do, but I mean that guy's, he's got his money. I wonder what he's doing now. I always think that like people who do this, like when you're in your 20s and you do this. I mean, I always hear that like most professional athletes are pretty broke by the end of it, but like because it's like. That lifestyle creep and shit, and just like, not being in your 20s. If I had millions of dollars in my 20s, I don't think I'd have any of it today. So it's like,
wouldn't be making smart investments or anything.
Yeah, no, right. But it's like, I'm like, what do you do now? I wonder what they got into, man. Is he a coach again? That'd be cool to see. So that's what I guess that's the thing. I wish that this movie did a little bit more of that. I wish like as much as it wanted to like, it did a life, like was going from childhood to present time. And like I think it would have been fun to see them afterwards. But a fun fact though is Borg's son plays him as a kid.
Oh, that's cute.
So he has like a
I thought that was pretty
13-year-old kid or an 11-year-old kid. I think at the time.
That was pretty good casting. So I see that, and it's like. The casting was good because when they showed the pictures at the end, I was literally like, the guy they cast as Borg. I'm like, that looks just like it. But like,
it just looks like it. No, I'm like, do I just not like? Am I like racist? Do I not see like every Scandinavian?
They're like, all right, so we all look the same to you. Like,
yeah, right.
Beautiful Slavic people.
I know. I was gonna say your piercing eyes and that like broad, beautiful face.
His flowing hair. I get that he was a superstar. You know what I mean? I get it.
Oh, totally.
He was. He's like the sixth Beatle or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, right. I want the shirt. What did the shirts? The girls that had the shirts on it.
I'd rather be Borg and Borg or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, you mentioned that the budget wasn't much. I am curious because the filmmaking quality was pretty good, and Shia and everything of it. So I'm curious what the budget is, because that I don't know how many splinters it is, but like I don't know. That always that always changes my opinion sometimes. You know what I mean? It's like I give a lot more benefit of the doubt if it's $10 million versus $60 million or something.
It was, yeah. This was under $10 million. This was $7.5 million to make, which
is pretty low for this kind of movie.
Like when I think about it, though, I mean, it's like it's a pretty minimalistic movie, so it's like
I would have guessed.
I can see them.
I would have guessed 10 to 15. So
right, yeah, easily, yeah. It's like if you told me this was 20, I could see that. It's like, but I'd be like, I don't know what they. That's probably because it's like this is made like this is usually when a movie's made and it's international, it's like a lot more expensive.
Yeah,
but this is a pretty slim down.
You also got Skarsgård in like a bigger. Like I was excited. I was expecting him to be in much smaller of a role, and he was in it more than McEnroe almost. And it's like, I like me some Stellan Skarsgård for sure. So
I know, yeah, dude. That's
Papa. How much? But, I mean, I'm sure it didn't make very much money, but
it made nothing basically. It made $3.4 million.
Yeah.
This was like a indie film.
It's for the fans
type of
like. As far as sports movies go, like that was the thing about this month. It's like there's a lot of good stuff behind sports movies. Like we're not big sports guys, you or I.
Yeah.
But it's like seeing these like a lot of underdog stories, a lot of drive, a lot of like coming together and like teamwork or something. In Mighty Ducks' case, it's like that's good stuff that you always get out of these type of movies. And so like seeing these stories about how ambition like can destroy people or whatever is always interesting. And so it's just like, I'm glad we did it. And then I'm glad to be done with it though.
Yeah. I know. Right. Same. Yeah.
I'm like,
sports. Like it's funny because Raging Bull is my favorite movie that we watched this month.
Oh, duh.
And wholly because it's not a sports movie.
Well, this
like
this was like my second.
Movie.
This one was my second favorite of the four.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean,
the bar. Raging Bull's like the fucking the goat.
Yeah.
Anyway, I guess I should have been pulling up a Reddit, huh? This.
You should have got a Reddit up, dude.
It's open
actually,
already,
you know what I was thinking though the whole time. Oh well, let me get my little thought out of the way here.
I just exited out.
I wish that Okay, good, thanks. I wish that Borg became a hockey player instead. I think he would have been. I think he would have been a better hockey player. He looked.
Right.
And there was something that was fun. I really enjoyed is his warm up or his psych up when he's out on the pitch, the field. I don't know what the fuck they call it, court. What the fuck do they call it? But he's out there and he does he's doing like a hockey move. That's kind of fun.
Yeah, he's like sways and like with the slap shot backhand and everything like that. It would have been interesting. I wonder what outlet that would have been for him, because I know I got excited. I knew it was a tennis movie, but they say you're almost as good at hockey as you are at tennis, and it's like I'm not like a die-hard hockey fan. It's just the sport I like the most.
Hockey's a million times sexier than tennis.
Yeah. Tennis is sexy, but
no, man, I don't know. It's like hockey is hella more sexy because like the guys.
There's a lot of Norwegians in hockey, so.
Yeah, I know.
A lot of them.
They got a lot of ice.
Yeah, they better. So let's see what a couple Reddits got. Huh? Let's see from our peeps. So Clones of People 2 says, first watch, I didn't know this film existed, but I am somewhat familiar with Borg, one of the greats, and McEnroe, one of the greats, but nuts. I'm a bit mixed on this because I found the overall plot to be a little subdued and found the whole comparison between Borg and McEnroe to be a little bit stretched. Yes, it's interesting that Borg is hiding his emotion to be better while McEnroe is living off his outbursts, but I felt there was more interesting aspects that could be focused on. I think Shia was underutilized here, and I would love to see more of him in this role, and I think that they did a good job of making the tennis exciting through upping the stakes. Their narrative structure in general was good, but I was a little confused at times when it switched to past abruptly, right? Overall, I think the film was fine, but it makes me appreciate challengers more. I think there is a better biopic here. Also,
I'm telling you, we did not read this. We didn't read your comment before we did the podcast. We always say exactly what you say.
I know.
And so,
it also bothered me in how it presented this match as almost a first meeting of the two when this was like the 8th match they played. I know. Yeah, you said that. And
Oh,
I
that
was
is
like,
funny. Oh,
it
that
does
is-
seem
yeah,
like
right, that-
you would have shook his hand like, "Hey,
Yeah.
big fan," you know.
Right. Yeah, that was kind of funny, and that's just part of the like. Well, thank you for the comment, and that whole that's kind of the you're pigeonholed into creating a narrative where the climax is their match.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like
you
like, okay,
have
well,
to. You kind of because if not,
yeah,
then
right. So that kind of breaks the realism, quote unquote.
Could be a more
of the
interesting
match stuff.
story, but like not a better movie. You know what I mean? But yeah, I
Yeah.
agree
And
with all.
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
thanks for the
it's
comment.
one of those things where it's like, yeah, it's funny that I didn't realize, like, because of this movie, I just assumed that this was their first match, and then they played more later.
Yeah.
But of course, they had to have played each other because that's how the brackety kind of stuff works. It's like
Yeah.
You play each other, and it's like your best games out of it. So it is kind of funny that it's like they made the movie.
I know,
and
and
they
then,
tricked me with their narrative.
Did McEnroe fuck his friend over? Like, I don't know why that was there. Is it supposed to be like?
I know, that
instill
was so
he's
funny.
Skeezy.
But the thing is, it's like like Victoria was like,
It's just that everyone
he
hates
did
him.
fuck him over, and I was like, no, he didn't. He like, or vice versa, something like that. Anyways, I was like, oh, he did fuck him over. He had it, and he was just kind of like, what did you expect? I'm a dirtbag.
I'm a dirtbag.
And then, but then they like Victoria was like, no, he found it, and he didn't fuck him over, and now he's getting sympathy. And I was like, I don't know. I really don't know. I'm I'm watching the movie, and I don't know.
I don't know, and that's fine. But it's like it's so we could get him being like,
Right.
because he needed to hear like you're not going to be remembered as one of the greats because nobody likes you. You know what I mean? It's like you're good at tennis,
Yeah.
but nobody fucking likes you. And so it's just like I feel like that hit harder than any of the daddy stuff, and so it's like having him hear that was probably better.
Yeah.
I got one more. So competitive bat 5831 says, so I feel confident I'm the person Levi is talking about when he says it was recommended. You are. I saw this for the first time in 2017 and instantly fell in love. I think the acting is very well done and really solidified my high opinion of Shia as an actor, not so much as a person. I love the framing
Yeah.
where everyone else just sees the rage of McEnroe, but Borg sees the athlete behind it. Oh, that's a good point. I did like those moments where he's
Yeah.
like,
No, I liked when they're watching each other. Yeah.
yeah, and he would watch it. He'd be like, he's so unfocused. And he's like, no, it's the opposite. He's like, he appreciates the sportsmanship. You know what I mean? Anyway, he goes on to say, blah, 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 blah. But Borg sees the athlete behind it, and the movie implies he's one of the few who can or does. I can feel the frustration of McEnroe through the movie that all anyone is talking about is either Borg winning or his outbursts, not about his tennis. What's funny is how much I found myself caring about the match and the outcome when I don't care about tennis at all in my day-to-day life. I could probably talk about this movie for quite a bit longer about what I like about it, honestly. Glad I finally got others to watch it. Battle of the Sexes is another tennis movie that's fun, but a little bit of a step down in my opinion. Thanks for the comment. I almost put that on the poll too, but I was like, I can't do two tennis movies.
Yeah.
Right. I can see why though, because it's like I obviously like this movie more than Jordan. I think it's had its shortcomings, but it's like I did enjoy
Their
myself.
acting was great though. I will. That was
I-
so that's
like-
what's funny. I think it is.
Like most of
all
the people too
the
said,
aspects
Shia
of this
was
movie-
underutilized though a little
Yeah.
bit. Like I don't know, because Shia he
Of
was
course,
great.
of
He's
course.
always good though.
Yeah. And I feel like he kind of is underutilized in a lot of movies. Like even I mean, just like there are a lot of movies where like I honestly I'm like Fury, he's totally underutilized, Nymphomaniac, and then like he's in Megalopolis, so I haven't seen it yet, but like I doubt he's a huge part in it.
We'll
you know?
watch
I don't know, maybe he
Megalopolis
is.
one of these days.
We've got to watch. Well, dude, I was actually thinking I was thinking of for like another genre or
Like
something.
box
we should do,
office
like,
bombs
Magnum
or
Opus.
something. Oh, Magnum Opus.
No,
That'd be
I think
good.
Magnum Opus.
Yeah,
That would be
that'd be
fun
better.
because that's what Megalopolis is.
Yeah.
Even though it doesn't
It
have to be a
won't-
great movie,
It won't
but that
win.
is their Magnum
Whatever
Opus.
it's up
Like,
against, though, we'll be putting it up against like fucking other Magnum Opus movies, and they'll
I
be like,
know,
I'm not
I know,
fucking
right?
voting for Megalopolis. Maybe they would. The people that
Yeah,
want
but-
us to watch these movies, they vote. Who knows? I don't know where the vote. I don't know what people
Yeah.
voting are thinking sometimes because
We
it
have
is
to see.
very erratic.
It really is. But
No.
but that would be fun, right? Magnum Opus, do something where it's like they're great. Like not, it doesn't have to be the film that like it'd be like Don Quixote or something. Like it would just be
Yeah.
that movie that like they've been trying to
The
make forever and they finally get to. Doesn't mean it's like their best movie.
For
but
sure,
it's
for
like-
sure, for sure. Like
Yeah.
the epic, the one. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Finally,
yeah,
the one.
That'd be fun.
But
But yeah, so but to your comment, like I think that their acting was great, and that's the thing you said earlier. All the aspects of this are fantastic. It just doesn't meld well for me. Like it's not cohesive enough for me to be like to be like, oh, I forgive it. Like even the subject matter itself
the overall
is not, like there's no problem per se, but it's like, yeah, just the overall. There's just I think it's for me the editing. It was snappy at certain times, but then a lot of times it's one of those things. There's no rule book on how to cut a scene together per se. Like you don't know timing. It is literally just feel. Like you don't like how long do you hold a cut before you do something, you actually do the technique to execute the cut, and then like what do you shoot to get that effect and stuff. And in this movie there was so many times where like I was like, they should have cut like 2 or 3 seconds ago. That's where it's like, that's how come I don't necessarily think it's super punchy for me personally.
See,
as I was watching it, but
the editing I thought was good a lot of the times, but it made me feel like Challengers light because the editing on Challengers was like top shelf.
Right. And I think what you're saying is the editing in certain scenes is really good, but just putting this whole movie together.
That's what I mean. The overall package of the pacing and the overall like narrative structure that came about because of the editing, like there could have been some better choices, I think. But anyway, Borg versus McEnroe. Not one I thought we'd watch, but one I'm glad we did, dude. We're devouring them all like we always do.
I thought Foxcatcher was gonna win for sure. I don't know.
That was the only one that I've seen before, and I put it on there because I'm like, no one's gonna do Foxcatcher.
I voted for it because I've never seen it and I wanted to, but I don't know. I don't think it got that many votes.
I mean, it might make it on another one if we do like true crime one month.
Yeah,
because that's more of that kind of story. It's more of like a true crime story that's in the world of wrestling. Real wrestling though, like Olympic wrestling, not the wrestler.
Yeah.
It's not Iron Claw.
Thanks, guys, for all your
thanks. We are going to not do a podcast next week or a movie since it's Christmas here. We usually take off that last week, and we did 4 this month, so we'll take that off, and then we'll be back in January the following week. Don't know what we're gonna do yet, so stay tuned for that. Whatever we're gonna do that month, I got a couple ideas floating. If we don't, we'll do Opus or Black and White or gangster movies because now I want to watch more gangster movies. Go back to Casino, baby. That's what I've been saying.
That'd be fun. It'd actually be fun to watch like 80s and 90s gangster movies or something.
Gangster movies, but do like you could do like Bronx Tale and Casino, but then like you could do like Boys in the Hood and stuff too. So anyway, we'll see. So come over to the Reddit, check that out. If you made it this far, you're awesome. Thanks for listening. Thank you for suggesting this movie. And
you rule. If you're on Patreon, you know who you are. You are blessed.
I know.
Beautiful.
To a couple of you Patrons that I don't know if you listen to this, I got you some mugs and some stickers. And then to a couple other you, just so you know, I'm saying it so that I will be forced to give you your mug and some stickers.
You got to.
I got those mugs.
You have to.
So, yeah. Okay.
I know, it's just getting them into the hands of the people.
That's it. Yeah. Okay, bye now.
Wait.